Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Reno Ursal. I'm going to be on the ShoPowSho. Check out my film N1 on the ShoPowSho as we talk about the ins and outs of casting the film and how the film story got created. So hopefully you can check us out here with Kuya P, my guy. So come on out, watch the episode, enjoy it, and let's all have some fun.
Yo, what's going on? This is the NRW or Nerds Rule the World. It's your boy, Kuya P, aka Patrick Michael Strange, the Adobro, the Babinka boy, the leader of the Holla Holla homies in the Center Gang. And I had to think, I need to add probably Buko boys, because I just had some the other day, and I think that's starting to become my new favorite treat, because I really enjoyed that the other day. So shout out to my Bukos lovers out there. That was a lot of goodness. I think I need to go back to the store and pick me up some. Anyway, the amazing Ates couldn't join me today because Tina's always busy in that stuffy spa. Kataphorric is over in Japan teaching, spreading knowledge. But we have another hot one today for you all. An amazing guest who's been killing it in the game for a very long time, but still looks very good. That melanin, that fish and rice keeps him looking young and beautiful. I have Reno Ursal on, y'all, and he has this amazing new film that's based on a little bit of his past as a coach and music that he's been involved with as well. It's an amazing project called N1. I'm going to drop the teaser trailer for you right now, and then when we come back, we'll have a convo with Reno Ursal talking all about N1, and then, we'll have him back again because we're just going to keep it on N1 right now. And then I'll do my Barbara Walters, my Asian Barbara Walters on another episode. So stand by for more content with the amazing Reno Ursal. But right now, check out the trailer for N1. Here we go.
There it is.
You don't have to make a big deal out of it, okay?
There it is. I got you. I see you smiling. Show me some teeth. Yeah. Get in, baby, let's go.
I admit that I'm frustrated.
Hey, what was that about?
Mia, come on.
To be standing here right now.
I hate to break it to you, but it's not about you right now.
Am I able to control my breathing?
Mia!
Like my father
You can't even be a
taught
little bit
me
tired.
how.
Control your breath, like I taught you both.
Just remember, girl, you got this. I'll be here if you need help. Don't forget your daddy's with you.
Mia.
Now go in and be like
Let's
stars.
go. Gather round. Hustle.
All
All right. I got 3 spots open on varsity.
Like my iris shining bright, like Tana lighting the way. They shouldn't hesitate to
Here's to the class of 2023.
No matter what you do, where you go, you always have us here, okay?
You can't help me now. Just breathe, girl. Be you, girl.
Listen to your ate. You're a Manalo.
You gotta play with heart.
Ball out the way I know you can.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Reno Ursal's and One. And as you see on the screen, my special guest, Reno Ursal. Boom, 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 boom. I'm shooting off air horns right now, Reno. I didn't put it on right now because I didn't want to deafen you. That's the duty of your family and your kids to do that. I'm going to put it in post so you still have your hearing. How are you today?
I'm good, man. How are you? Everything good?
Everything is good, man. Blessed, loving life. Keep bringing the knowledge to the people, man. That's what it's all about. And giving love to the kababayan, man. You know?
Yeah, it's all about love, man. That's what we all do doing this in film and music entertainment, just showing what we're all about, showing love to everybody.
Yes, sirs. And I love what you're doing with this film, adding to, we have very few films that celebrate us as films. And I got to give you props and much thanks, man, for helping contribute and give something for us so we can see ourselves. Representation, as you know, it matters. And if we don't see ourselves on screen, you know, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for this amazing film. Let's start at the beginning, how this project came together. I'm curious how, you know, as a filmmaker, again, like I told you earlier myself, you know, how germs of ideas come into fruition and then how you just go about achieving that. Take me back to how this all came to be. And as I stated earlier, it's a little bit based on your own history as a coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm a basketball coach, high school hoops. Shout out to all the hoopers out there. I've been at this one high school called Mountain House High School for almost a decade. And I coach girls basketball for the first 7 years. So I have a travel ball club, all that stuff, but it's really the girls basketball side that really got me really seeing the game from a certain perspective. It's more than the game. It's more than just what's on the court. It's what goes on outside of the court, right? And then as a coach, I just really started feeling that I had a lot of players who are of our background, and they can hoop.
Yeah, we can.
You know that within our community, what is it? Basketball, music, family, religion, all of that is part of our culture, right?
Yep.
And basketball, I would say, is definitely prominent within the Filipino culture. They could hoop. They were all kids of immigrant parents. So, you know, at that time, it was maybe like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they weren't looking to aspire to play college ball. They weren't looking to play beyond just high school, and they would go into a more traditional path, nursing, whatever it is. But they can hoop, right? They can hoop. And as I got to know them better, they never knew that I was involved in music back in the day with Classified Records. They never knew I was a songwriter. I just kind of kept that stashed away in my back pocket. They didn't know I was a storyteller with, who writes at night.
I love it.
You know, after practice, you know, and they started to become a template of a story about a girl hooper trying to make it in a small NorCal suburban town. Then when my daughter grew older, I had to coach her in high school ball. So that became quite, what can I say, that was a journey in itself for both of us. You know, she was put in a very difficult position being the daughter of the guy of the coach who's been there, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, championship runs before that. Now she's coming up, and then now people are hit that microscope on her every time. Is she going to play more than the other girls? All that stuff. And as a girl dad coach, I was hard on her growing up. Just like I remember one time we were in the gym and I wouldn't let her out of the gym until she would make like 10 straight free throws. This is like when she was in 6th grade, and I was hard on her, military style type.
Oh
coach,
yeah. Oh yeah.
And she's on the verge of tears and all of that stuff. As she grew older, I just started taking it easier on her because I wanted to be a dad first. And that was where I was started going towards, because I just didn't want basketball to be the thing that determines our relationship. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for her because when she's walking on campus, people can I swear on this show?
Yeah. You're good.
Am I allowed?
I'm former military, so it slips a lot.
People talking shit all the time about back talk, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even I was really conscious of that too. So I didn't play her just, you're playing 32 minutes. No, she got pulled when she needed to be pulled. But inside of this whole experience was a story that was resonating from the girl's side, right? How is it to be a coach of a daughter? Just in general.
Yeah.
And within our own culture, what is that all about? I had firsthand experience. And then I have my little son who also hoops, who's like 2 years younger than her. So I know what it's like to coach boys in the travel ball circuit. Right. And he was friends with a kid named Jaden in Mountain House who they were really young, and his friend passed away from a heart condition at 9 years old. So we had to deal with talking about death. We had to deal with talking about what happens, beyond this lifetime, a lot earlier for him. So he grew up a lot faster just because of that experience. And the genesis of the boys side for And One came from that experience.
Okay.
There's a girl story, a guy story. And One is about a girl and a guy growing up playing hoop in a NorCal suburban town when tragedy and loss force them to grow up faster than they want to. So without giving anything away, And One, we all know what And One is like. You go up for a dunk, you get fouled, boom, And One, right? There's a deeper meaning in it, in the screenplay, where the characters have to overcome and go through mental trauma and get through it with the help of family and friends. As I was writing the screenplay, there was a song that I was writing.
Oh wow. Multitasker. That's very Asian of you. Overachieving.
This film is like on the cusp of being a musical.
Yeah.
While other people say it's a musical, a coming of age with musical elements, right? But the way I describe it is it's a Walk to Remember meets Love and Basketball with a musical twist.
I love that.
And there's a song called Relentless that I wrote. I was DJing a party. Obviously, we all DJs, right?
Right. Yo, I love it.
During the pandemic, and I had this script, right? And then, it was in its infancy. It was still there. It was, all through the years, I just kind of like developed it. Then there's a family party wedding. I was outside, the moon shining down. And then, in Filipino folklore, what's the name of the moon is Mayari, right? In Tagalog version. And then Tala for the stars. And then the lyrics just came to me. And that's the whole lyric in the chorus just came to me while I was spinning. I think it was like Celebration by Kool and the Gang.
Oh, wow. I love it.
And then this whole melody and lyric came to me while I was spinning at the party. And then my relatives are just, and my cousins like, why are you just, after my set was done, after I sat down,
yeah,
wondering why I'm just looking up and just being really, really pensive, looking up.
Yeah.
This song came into my mind right when I got home. I laid it down, blah, 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 put down the skeleton of it. And that is the song you hear in the teaser.
Dope.
Relentless. So all of that just started to snowball together with the script and the music. I put the song Relentless into a scene in the script. I had another song, it's called Fade Away, that's in the film also, that's that also got into the script. Then I submitted it to screenplay contests and things like that, right? And
Hell yeah.
then it got some love on the Diverse Voices screenplay contest from We Screenplay. And
let's go. Congrats on that.
Okay, it's only a quarterfinalist. It's like, it got axed the next round, but
hey, man, we got to still celebrate those wins, brother.
Yeah,
still celebrate those
absolutely.
wins.
And what ended up happening is that, a friend of mine who runs a film company in New York was like, oh, yo, like send me the script and da, 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 da. And I sent him that version, the draft, had him listen to the music, and he really wanted to get behind it.
Yeah.
And that was the first, I was like, oh, you really want to get behind it. So what ended up happening there is we got a casting director named Alan Luna involved in the project, and he wanted to cast it. Now this dude is legit. He's a Mexican-American casting director from ABL Casting in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's done in the casting world is just help amplify the voices.
Love it.
Represent people. And he got behind it. He's just like, let's do it, Reno. Let's freaking do it, Al. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's put it out there. Let's see who responds to a casting call for film leads. And I'm like, how many do you think you're going to come out? And he's like, we'll see, So he put the casting call only to agented talent. So it wasn't a public casting, right? It was only to agented talent through that network. And
okay. Hey, before we go further on that, let me take a pause right there, because I want to know a little bit more. The filmmaker inside of me is like, yo, what about these aspects, right? But I love how we're hearing this whole story, and I can't wait to dig in more with that. But let me pull you back a little bit. So you told me how like the song Relentless germinated while you were DJing, and you came back that night, started laying the track down a little bit. But then the story kind of came from your experience as a coach and all of that. But then when you started drafting this up, right? And I know it's been a work in progress, over several years, as you were saying, and then the music along with it kind of tied to it. What was it like putting your life on paper, and then also putting, because like you said, this part of the story is your daughter's story, part of it's your son's story, kind of opening up yourself, even though it's not really, it's not you, but it's based on you, right? But just having to live certain moments, especially the loss, like you said, in regards to your son, him losing a friend, putting that on wax, essentially, right? Putting that into a script, revisiting like difficult moments. I'm just always curious, because as a writer, as creatives, I'm very much an empath. So I feel everything, and then I channel that into the work. But then doing that can also bring back, certain elements that you have to relive and deal with again. I'm just curious, as a creative, how do you do that, and just, putting yourself into the work? And for those aspiring creators that are watching this as well, just kind of giving them vibes and tips.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you think about yourself as a creator, and the great thing about social media is that you're not alone. A lot of people are they're in the dungeon, they're behind the computer, they're working on craft, they're working on stories, they're working on music, they're working on what they believe in, the passion that they believe in. And for me, my passion was storytelling from an honest, authentic perspective. And I can only write what I feel. And when I'm writing these scenes, or when I wrote those scenes initially, I'm an emotional wreck. It's hard to explain, but I think creatives can relate to that, because when you're writing a story that's based on an experience you have or people, in my case, being a girl coach, being a girl dad coach, it brings back all these emotions, right? And you're putting it on the page, and these emotions can run the gamut of up and down, left and right, just waves that ruffle through you. And you're wrestling with these emotions as you're writing it. And that happens to me to this day. When I was writing Mia's story, and that's my daughter's nickname, is Mia. So that's the character's name. Mia has a double meaning, because it also the name. I'm big on names, so every character name has a etymology behind it.
Awesome.
That means something to me. That's her nickname too. It represents who I was as a teenager, because I consider myself as a teenager, I was missing in action. I was MIA, man. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was just really absent from my, friends and family's lives. I was just a cocky kid who thought he knew everything, right? And then just kept all his emotions and everything he had inside of him. And that's why I call those my MIA years. I kind of break my life down into these segments.
I feel that.
Right?
I feel that.
And yeah, when you're writing something, like when I wrote And One, the first draft, I was crying at the end of it. Second draft, I was crying at the end of it. When I wrote Relentless, I was just an emotional wreck. Like I could feel the heat in my face, right?
Yeah.
You can feel that even if you're not crying, you could feel this inside of you, inside of you, just this burgeoning roll of emotion going in and out, in and out. And people say that I cry a lot at movies and things like that.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. It's me and you. It's me and you.
And as I get older, I'm becoming more comfortable showing that. Back in the day, right? As a typical masculine dude, right. My generation, you don't show that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I really credit my wife and my girls, my two daughters, for showing me the way that's all right. And I really only show it to them though. So,
yeah, we still try to, when you run your boys, I'm good. But I'm with you.
Yeah. On set when we shot the Relentless scene, I showed everybody how much it meant to me.
You felt it.
I was crying. Morella and Martin were like, look, they're the actors. They're like, you okay? But yeah, for any creative, you can relate. I know it. I mean, there's so many creatives out there with this generation right now in 2022. There's no other time that we've been really relevant to have people choose this career path and make a living from it. It's always been a side hobby, side hustle, right? But people are doing it full time, and I just completely admire them for doing that. And they're crazy talented.
Yes.
That's the crazy part. Like, they're crazy talented, man. They can go up against anybody. So as someone old school from back in the day, it's really, really great to see that. And as a creative writing new stuff in the current day, back before it was, we're the first to do that. We're the first. Now it's like, okay, our stuff has to be solid.
Hell yeah. Yeah. You got to come with it. Don't play around.
We can't just throw it out there and hope people support just on the fact it's a Filipino.
Yeah. Real talk.
Got to be good. So I am big on making sure we do it right.
There we go. All right. I got two other questions on top of that before we get further. I'm sorry. I like pinpointing certain parts of it because I'm sure other creatives and film fans want to know this kind of information. So you're putting yourself on wax. You're putting based on life into it, right? What did when you penned it in your what age was Mia or like once it was like realized before actually this final draft before you started filming this the final screenplay, did they get a chance to look at it because I'm sure they knew that was sort of based on dad and me? What did they think of it? What was the family feedback? Maybe
how about my family?
Yeah, how did they feel that you put when we put ourselves in wax like this, they can, sometimes they'll feel offended. It's all about how they're depicted, right? What was the thoughts going on within the family?
I think the feedback was always how to make it better.
First, so they're more.
It's emotional, absolutely. On the first read, it just it hits them. In our experience, it hit my daughter, my son, my wife. Like, wow, this is what you've been working on for real? Like, really?
They felt it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then they read it a second time and a third time and the fourth time, and it resonated more with them with more reads.
Okay.
they know the connections from the real life people. So they're, man, like sometimes we just look at each other. We have no words.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was thankfully a good feeling, because you know how sometimes depending on the depiction, somebody could feel some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? And with other kind of projects, this I'm sure was a very beautiful, and it had a very, you know, a point to it, right?
I mean, point taken. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you create something, it could be crap, and you're like, oh well, but I'll just keep on working on it, you know. But
yeah,
the initial first draft to second draft, it was authentic, heartfelt reaction.
yeah.
So that's always a good sign.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about putting it out publicly. Okay,
Yeah.
well, the people around me, you know, they're not going to BS me. Then they're not going to tell me, oh, it's good, even if it sucks. They're going to tell me if it's something that's worthwhile pursuing, or what they think it's something that that touches them, and it touched them, right?
Yeah.
And then as the whole project kept moving along, they kind of were like looking at wide-eyed. It's like, oh, okay, you got casting director on board. Cool. You know, like, so yeah, I think within my family, they know the personal relationships, they know the connections, and everything hits home much more intimately.
Yeah.
And you could really feel that too when we were filming some of those scenes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that person is that person now. Like, that actor has made that person come alive in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Awesome. So like my next phase of my question, which you kind of answered already, is so like when you're so close to a project, right? You can be, you're emotionally invested, right? So in order to tell if it's good, you got to kind of give it out to somebody else to separate, you know, where they have none of that tangible, you know, semblance to it. So they have to, they can come with a free mind. And so I urge everyone, especially also that's watching this, in regards to like the filmmaking side of things, you know, sometimes you could be a little invested. While you may think it good, you got to give it to somebody else so they could also give you that sign off. I think is very important. So you had that feedback, and would you say that's very important as well from your standpoint?
Once I went through the screenplay writing contest world, that it got some love there, and then when Albert Chan came on board, you know, from New York, and really signed off on it, and then Al and Luna came on board, then you're thinking, okay, it can't suck that much, right? They don't know these people.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm thinking if there's something there, right? In the meantime, I'm like pushing it out to other people I know in the community and friends of mine and stuff like that, getting feedback, garnering feedback, just get more feedback, more feedback, because, you know, there's been things that I've changed because I thought it was the best thing ever in there, but it gets to, one point example is you have a mid-40s guy writing teenage dialogue. Now that can go either way. Right.
Yeah.
So luckily I have 3 teenagers who can read it and tell me, no. Or, yeah.
Yep.
And all the teenage dialogue, I flow through them just to see if it's legit. How people are talking now. Yeah. Right. And I think working in collaboration with people is what it's all about. Because I've been guilty of that, thinking, like you were saying, this is brilliant. How can you not like this?
Yeah.
And even with the songs that are in the film that I wrote, I knew there was something there, but, you know, I have other people listen to it, other producers I know, all of that stuff. And, you know, from the hardest critic to the one that I kind of knew would like it anyway, but I would ask them, what do you think needs to be improved?
Yeah.
Not just give me compliments. And I think that's important to have a group of people you can go to. As a writer, I'm part of this great writing group, like 2 great writing groups. I'm the only dude, I'm the only guy. And it's all Pinays, Filipinas in these writing groups.
Dope. That
give me feedback on my writing, and I offer my feedback to them. You know, it's a collaborative space.
It's beautiful.
And, you know, once we're able to talk about just the entire industry as a whole for our people, you know, I'll tell you that there are stories being written right now that are on wax, are on paper, like you said, right? And they're there.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. Just finding a pathway to get them green lit is the challenge right now.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. So and really the answer to that is having people in the right positions, production, financiers. That's a big part. We need the money bags people, but just everybody to help make this idea come into fruition. And so that's where I kind of cut you off earlier, where we got into this amazing casting director. Let's get into pre-pro of assembling a team, assembling a beautiful cast. Tell me what came a little bit first, crew wise. You said you got the casting director. Tell me how some of these dominoes fell into place until you built this amazing cast.
I got to credit Albert Chan from Single Cube Films out of New York for getting a lot of this in place, financing key personnel and crew, and I continue to learn from him in the industry how things work, because a lot of it's unpredictable. So we just roll with it sometimes. But I learned a lot from Alan Luna just in the casting process about how it gets out there, and then how agents and actors respond to it. And we knew going in that for us to get an A-list actor was very slim. So we were going after the hungry actors out there. We went to all the agented talent. Everyone saw it, so it's up to them if they're gonna submit, right? And we had thousands of submissions, man. Like, it was crazy.
Let's go.
Crazy. I mean, the amount of Asian American, Filipino American talent in the 18 to 28 range is just, I mean, they're out there. They are out there. So I saw firsthand. I spent time, once I got the tapes that he forwarded to me, and it was all through self tapes, nothing in person. It was all self tapes. This is in 2021. Early, basically my whole summer of 2021 was watching self tapes with our team.
Yeah.
And once I got the ones that made his cut, I still had hundreds to go through. And I spent time with each actor, even if they don't know I did. I spent time with each actor. I watched every tape submitted that I received, right? And that's the job of the casting director, is kind of filter out, what they think is best for the project and all of that stuff. So we had callbacks, we had multiple conversations, heated debates.
Yeah, I feel that.
Subjective, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it is, but we knew one thing. We knew one thing that kept us aligned was that we knew what we wanted was that one Filipino family would be full-blooded, the other would be mestizo, mixed. We just didn't know which one. Is it going to be one, or is it going to be the girls, or is it going to be the guys? Vice versa. It depended on who we thought was best for Robbie, who's the male protagonist, and Mia. And the callbacks, and sometimes when you're an actor, you audition for something and you completely forget because you didn't hear back, right? And then you have like multiple auditions, and you just right. And but the actors were saying this is the one that stood out for them because it's the only one that they know of besides Easter Sunday that was out there in the agented world that had Philam specific, right?
Yeah.
So so we took our time. We'll just put it that way. We didn't rush into it, but we knew we're going to shoot in October. So we had to make a decision pretty soon in September, late August, or in August at that point, just to get them prepped. And we landed Martin Martinez to play Robbie. And Martin Martinez is this talented actor that everyone should know about. I mean, he's in Magnum PI. He's in Pachenko as a co-star, I think, and he was in Never Have I Never.
Awesome.
Netflix and NCIS Hawaii. So he's just this up and coming talent out there. Once he once he officially came on board, then we kind of knew the direction of
Okay.
families would.
So kind of centered around that, how you're going to chart
how
it
they
out.
would look to a degree, right?
Yeah.
And from there, all the dominoes fell into place. Morales Sabio came in as Mia, and you could see her talent on the screen of the teaser. And these are actors that I will live and die for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because they're taking a chance on a story from an unknown director.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all in this just trying to figure out, how to make a great film and have our representation out there, even though we feel like all of us collectively feel like this is a coming of age drama with musical elements, or coming of age musical drama, whatever you want to call it. And our casting is pretty self-evident that it's a film representation. And that talent, like when Jules Aurora came on as Mia's older sister, just like it all felt, it's like, wow, Jules is coming on. Like,
yeah.
Right? Super talented.
Yeah.
Those early dominoes just kind of helped us fill the gaps,
So
together.
Question, because part of it is because like you said, it's musical. Did they have to have that musical talent as well when you were casting?
They were asked to sing in the auditions.
Oh, okay.
They were asked to sing in the auditions. It was pretty cool. And I could say that I'm just blown away at the talent, dude. Like that's on my screenplay writer friends in general, Jet. There's so many actors out there, man, just looking
hungry.
That they don't have to be a side piece for, like something that they're featured as a lead, right?
Yes.
I think that's the big challenge right now. But we're making gains with Asian Persuasions being filmed right now, and then we have Fabulous Filipino Brothers, you have Lumpia, you have Girl Who Left Home, you have Diane Paragas' Yellow Rose, you have all these great films. I'm sure I left one out. Don't be mad at me if I did. But my whole goal with And One was really just we want to make a really solid film that can compete with anything that's out there, right? Because the Filipino element of it is there, but it's not going to be as prominent. Like it's not going to be like it's about mental health. It's about overcoming mental health. It's about Hoopers growing up together in NorCal, right? And all of that representation within the culture is going to be there, but we want to be inclusive about it. So the trick and the challenge is how do you like incorporate it without excluding people from outside the culture?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we wrangle with that every day, on whatever we put out, or however we're changing the script, or however we're looking at shooting it.
Love it.
And for us, it's like that whole casting process. And there were a lot of heated debates, man.
Yeah.
To tell you, internally, there was just, not just internally here, but just with everyone in the production side. Just you should go with that person or that person. So it's so subjective that you just go with your gut.
I feel that.
Yeah, because we had so many options.
So I asked about, them having the musical talent, but because this is a basketball film, did you have to take a few out onto the court to see if they had some handles, brother? Did they have handles? Did everybody have handles, or did they have stunt doubles? I need to know this.
Well, we prioritized the acting and athleticism.
Of course.
Athleticism. So a lot of these actors have the total package for sure. So that's part, because I know like other productions with basketball films, sometimes they go just with the hooper and then they work on the acting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We prioritized just the talent all inclusively, right? So if they were lesser in the basketball stuff, then we didn't bring in a stunt double. we haven't. And we just work with them
Yeah.
as much as we can. And then, you work it out in post, I guess.
I love it. I will say I was excited to see that. Shout out to a ShoPowSho alum, my girl Tisha Custodio, who is also on Disney Plus's Big Shot, where she's a hooper there. So mad love to Tisha. I thought that was awesome to see her.
Actually, today is her birthday.
Oh, it is. I think I saw that too.
Yeah.
I have to hit her on the Facebook and all that.
She's a sweetheart.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Tisha. And then also another alum, Dion, that we talked about earlier. You and I, shout out to Dion Bosco.
I was
great to see him on there.
When
I love the cast.
When he came on board, man, that was just like, you know what? Like, we know that he'll even admit this. I think that he's not looked at as like a fatherly figure out there, but to me, he was for this role. So I'm just really excited to showcase him in a different light.
Hell yeah. Challenged the kind of ways people kind of put us. And I think he and I had a long convo when he was here recently for the Fabulous Filipino Brother story, and such a great guy. And he plays goofy guys on screen, but he's a very knowledgeable, smart cat that I adore him, man. He's a good dude.
It's incredible.
Yes. So you casted this amazing film. Let's talk about on the crew side. You mentioned, you got that amazing casting director. I forgot his name. You also had the people in New York that came through. So, and like you said, there's a lot of kind of conversations and frustrations a little bit in trying to make these casting decisions. Tell me about the production team. Did you also, again, to make this film, I know right now, and probably I think it'll end up when this finally premieres, but you have an Indiegogo campaign to help kind of raise some additional funds. But from the offset, this is already wrapped, right? This is already filmed. It's just now taking care of the post-production costs, I would assume.
Post-production. We have a few more scenes we want to shoot also that more for post.
Gotcha.
That way. But then, part of the lifeline of a project is, are we done?
Yeah.
We have enough. Right. And then you ask that question. I just asked a bunch of questions. And I asked people within my team, outside my team, does this look good? Does this, do we need more? Whatever. Because once the movie's out, it's out.
Yeah.
Right. So we do have some scenes to shoot that are prominent in the film. And we're planning to do that this summer. Right. And the more money we can get, the better. Absolutely. Just for anything that we're doing. For us, if we have to delay it in order to make sure we get it right, we will,
Gotcha.
Then you just wonder, okay, well, they're playing a certain age, the actors and stuff. So you can't wait that long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But we're really, our agreement is that if we don't think we got it right, then let's revisit and make sure we get it right.
I feel that. So how can they, because again, when this drops, and you and I talked about this is dropping as part of 2022's AAPI Heritage Month. I think the Indiegogo campaign will already be over by the time this drops. How can they continue to support this? Will you start another campaign? How can they reach out? And then I'll also put the links when you send it to me in the description so they can support you. Just what are ways they can, show love on this?
Well, for me personally, for any film I do, because this is the first thing that people see from me with my name behind it, right? As I get into the backside of life, I say anything behind after 50 is the backside, right? My whole goal is to make 10 great films. 10 great films.
Let's go.
Right. And I'm always going to have an Indiegogo, something like that, for people to be part of it in some way. For someone who's never been part of film can be part of this and see what it's like, to see if this is a career pathway for them. We were lucky on our set to have high school students from the local high school be able to see what it was like on set, right? So the main motivation for the Indiegogo is for us to offer an opportunity for people to be part of it, right? Money's always nice, all of that, but I want to make my films accessible as much as possible. So that is the main motivation. So if they want to contribute to that, that's great. If not, they could follow us on Instagram at N1Film, right? They can follow us on our Facebook page. They can send us a tweet. I already got a tweet from a couple people that, oh, we're mad at you because we don't like how, you know, there's faith-based stuff in it, and, you know, blah, blah, and Filipinos are very diverse and all of that. And I said, my response to them is, thank you for telling me how you feel. Don't give up on us yet. You're right. This is, you know, one of those things. And for us to even attempt to do this is a big step. I think you know that. Content creators know that.
Yeah.
It's something that when you put something out there, it's out there. It's out there for criticism, especially in today's world. So
you're not going to please everybody.
Exactly. And we just want to feel good about it within ourselves.
Yes.
We're getting this right. So I know I bring up the part about what I want to do on the backside of my life, because anything that's going to be released has got to be at a certain level of quality that I feel good about. And my bar is pretty high. Anything I do, my bar is pretty high. When I coach basketball, man, like you better come get it. You could
feel that.
Hooper for my kids, my family, like what I'm trying to balance is my high standards with just being a good dad, you know, not putting too much right there. And if I could get my 3 teenagers to be good people who care about others, then I feel that's success right there.
Hell yeah, I'm with you, my brother. I'm with you. So with all of that being said, what is the projected, what date are you telling yourself I want this out by, so we can
all
plan
things
on it?
Well, 2023, bro.
Okay.
Right? But if
like fall 2023, summer 2023,
ideally be summer, because it feels like but I'm not going to put a date on it, only because what if we don't get it right? like we have, like in post, we're struggling with certain things, right? And it's just part of the reality of this art form, right?
Of course,
to get that right. So what I want to say is that once it comes out, hopefully that summer 2023 timeline, we can meet that. But once it comes out, it's going to be something that we are going to feel good about.
Hell yeah, let's go. I'm ready for it.
And part of that too, man, is like the representation is so important to me. And I think we've both been through that whole era of things have come out and they're just good attempts, but right. And you just it but you know, it may not have the legs. And we want to make sure for everything that we do that we have the legs to compete with anything that's out there. And I'm talking about like something like this, a musical like level type thing. So like you have to have the music on point too, right? So and I want to give a shout out also to Dee Magno Hall, man. She's plays.
I noticed. Her on there. I'm trying to get her books on the ShoPowSho. She's not an alum yet, but we're looking to have her on it when we can.
Amazing talent, man. Like I could just shout out all the cast. I don't want anyone to feel left out, but you know, she's just a sweetheart, and just everybody who's involved in this, Coel Mahal, and just these are talented people that our community should know about, and they're out there working, man. They're like out there, making a living from this. This is crazy. Like my generation, I'm a son of immigrant parents, and they did the best they could to instill like successful kids. You know, kind of make us go through the standard path for a good career in a very stable environment, right? But this generation, my kids' generation, they're going out. I'm going to be an actor, and they're going to move to LA. They do that stuff, man, without even thinking twice. My generation, we would think 3 or 4 times about it. Well, what's the pros and cons and all of that? And
we got pushed a whole nother route. You know, it was an okay hobby, but it wasn't
Yeah.
reality. Like, yeah, you couldn't do that for a living. It was an engineer, doctor, lawyer, all those kind of push, accountant. Yeah, it wasn't, or even military to some degree.
Right. Yeah. So you're military, right? So that would be a stable pathway. And like these people are like, it's crazy. Like,
yeah,
I just admire them so much that people are just doing it. Now we have people at a higher level who are getting Grammys. And we have actors who are A-listers, man, like that are if we can get her, not her the artist, but just say her who's an actress out there, who's an A-lister for whatever project, we have people in place now.
Yes,
we never had that 20 years ago, dude. Like that's
hell nah. It's wild. It's like I'm part of this Filipinx Actors Barkada group out of LA. I'm like the only East Coast actor with all these other West Coast actors. And it's just an amazing time right now. And like you said, I'm so thankful for this project and one coming out. And as you've employed such amazing group of Filipinx talent that we have right now that are ready to rock. So shout out to you. We got Joe with Easter Sunday with all of the amazing talent there. That's also part of, shout out to Jason Rogel, who's part of our Barkada group. That's part of Easter Sunday. All the talent in Toronto. Shout out to my boy Romeo Candido with Top Line and Isabel with Abroad right now. We're killing it right now. Right now, there's such a feeling right now that just is so inspiring and motivational that it's our time soon. And with her killing it, like you said, kind of in the music, Saweetie. We got Bruno, we got Olivia Rodrigo. Like, come on now. Yeah, it's ready. It's our time, bro. Like, we're going to.
I remember when, when we were working classified records days back in the 90s. I know that's like a different time we're going to talk about that. But
yeah,
I
can't wait to dig in. I was crushing on Jocelyn Enriquez back in the day, as well as all the members of Panay.
Oh, shoot, man. Those are my homies. And we're just.
I love it.
Because people behind the scenes were just. That was a dream. That was our dream. Like that seems
that was mind blowing for me, bro.
That was so unreachable. Like we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it and like see what happens, right? And then I guess we're 20 years early.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, man. It's awesome. So I'm just really glad to be part of the conversation.
Hell yeah.
And helping, trying. And doing it with a smile all the time and just like giving love to everybody else as much as I can, because maybe my project is later in the timeline, but we have projects that are out now that we need support.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's not just from the Hollywood gatekeepers.
Yes.
We need support from the organic ways of the community, and our community needs to get behind those projects for that growth, because sometimes I feel like our community waits for the gatekeepers to say yes before they get behind a project. When dude, you're wearing a hat, that means a lot to me. I'm like, dude, those guys, Lumpia and Pat, and what they're doing.
Yeah. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to Lawrence. AJ, they've been putting in work, brother. I love them so much, man. It's so inspiring. And I'm a cat over here on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Right. What y'all are doing in the West, man, I wish I could only have half of what y'all have out there on the West Coast. Because I feel like Pinoy's here on the East, man. Matt, and I'm not, it's going to sound like I'm talking down about my East Coast family here, but like I just feel like y'all got your shit together over there. Over here, there's a lot of infighting amongst us Pinoys, and we're not willing to support each other as much as y'all are doing over there. So I just love that y'all are killing it, and y'all are this wave, man, and it's inspiring me over here. And I'm honored that I'm now collaborating with Pat on some other projects and what you're doing. But also shout out to Toronto. Toronto is where it's at as well. They're killing it right now. There's a movement, and where we're at now, a rising tide lifts all boats. We as a community aren't going to fight. We're not going to squabble. We're going to support each other. And bro, I'm so thankful for you coming through to tell me about And One. And as this goes along, I'm going to continue to show love and light. Cause like you said, we got to support each other, brother.
So I just don't think it's tied to geography no more.
Hell no.
That's why I wear this, because this is my roots. there's squabbles and fighting all everywhere, so it's just a matter of just getting over ourselves and just saying, let's support and like get it done, and I'll do it right.
Hell
and
yeah.
make it happen. So, when we say make it happen, it's such a broad statement. There's a lot of things that have to come into place for that. And it's
true.
Collaboration. It's really about collaboration and being honest with each other in a way that's approachable.
Yes.
In a way that doesn't exclude anybody or make anyone feel like their perspective doesn't matter. Everyone's perspective matters.
Yes.
It's just a matter of finding a platform for that person to say it and create something that they believe in. And I'm the ultimate underdog, dude. Like no one really would say that, I guess it's my sports analogy. I was always the small guard that had to come in and prove himself.
Same, bro. That's why I got out of basketball.
Yeah.
I was in the Filipino leagues as a kid, and I'm not gonna get Michael Jordan height. I'm gonna stay Muggsy Bogues my whole life. So
Yeah.
I gotta stay Muggsy, and that's not really. And I didn't have the ups to other than Muggsy had ups. I didn't have no ups.
But it's all about like your mentality coming in, making it a positive impact, and that's what I try to do, imperfect as that is. But I'm hoping people like the teaser. I'm hoping people, I'm like, come on board, man. Let's go for a ride and have fun, man. It's like making films about honest stories.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about, right?
It's important.
The tough part about filmmaking and about films in general, from the creator side, is like, it's so fickle out there that it's so easy for something to fall short in today's audience. And when you put your audience member hat on, you start to like, oh, that film was just okay, or that film was just okay, right? But one that hits you here is that's the one that I'm gonna be going for every film. The one that it can't escape your heart. It can't escape. It feels that every human can feel, right? And that's what I'm going to attempt to do with every film I make. So, and one's my first attempt at it, man. Thank you so much for giving me a platform to talk about it. I'm new to the game, so shout out to everybody who's been in the game all these years. In terms of filmmaking, I've been in the game of music for a while, but shout out to the Debut family, the Debut film family. Like that's where it started for me. My first film shoot was on the Debut. So yeah. So that had such a big impact on me. So
same. That was one of the big films that really told me that my story could be told.
Absolutely.
As a film, like I loved it.
Yeah. Now the trick is, can we make these films like from the Hollywood perspective, right? Hollywood perspective would be like, well, are there any films that are actually profitable?
Exactly.
Right. And so that's the trick of the trade. But we're moving in the right direction, right? We're moving in a slow moving river going towards this whole massive collection of work that will create a movement, right? Because if you can think of film, you could probably name maybe two hands, right? And that it's just going to double in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, hell yeah.
Easily. They get greenlit. That takes financial backing. So wherever you get it, from a studio, from a private investor, whatever it is, that's the trick, because we have so many stories, so many scripts just that are out there.
I know I got them ready. I know you got them ready.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Community is so diverse. Like
Yes.
we're not monolith. So you have a Filipino experience from Toronto. You have a Filipino experience from someone like me who's a basketball coach. You have some Filipino experience from the LGBTQ side of things, right? It's we have to get those stories out to show we're not just one thing.
Exactly.
Right? We are as complicated as any other group of people out there. And I'm excited to at least show this from the basketball hooper side, because I know everyone loves hoop. And if you don't, for me, I'm like, how do you not like basketball, man? Like, it just confuses me. So I'm like, when I talk to people, like, you don't know about, like, you don't know about Magic Johnson, or you don't know about, I'm like, You didn't know there was a first Isaiah Thomas? Like, what?
Right. We grew up. That's because we grew up during the best. I'll say this. We grew up during the best time of basketball. You and I, the 80s into the 90s was the best time in basketball.
Now that's debatable.
I feel, man. The classic Celtic Lakers matches. Then we had the Bad Boys. Then the birth of Jordan and all that going into the Kobe Bryant years. I was a basketball head. I fell a little bit away from basketball. It's not the same anymore, personally. But yeah. I know it's debatable, but I'll put my money on it any day. No,
that's my son.
The 80s, 90s was the best time.
Yeah, that's my son Noah, who's 16, and he reads up on basketball history. He might argue that today is right. So that's a great thing. Is like your perspective matters.
That's true. That is very true.
Your perspective, and if you can create a story from your perspective and make a positive impact, oh man, it's got to be on paper, man. Like it's got to be out there, right? Like I consider myself a basketball historical history guy, right? So
okay,
I'm looking back.
We'll have to have a talk. Well, I have to have a special ShoPowSho basketball episode where we got to talk all that.
I was like, I always tell my players, do the Mikan drill, and they're like, do you know where that came from? And then I start who Mikan was, back in the 50s, 40s, and it's like, you got to know your history. Know your history. You got to know yourself, right?
Yeah.
So no history, no self, and
exactly
all that has to come into play now. And I know we got to get going, but this whole movement within our community is just we need to support everyone within what we can do. Even if it's just a response to someone's email or a response to their DM from someone that looks, like there's so many times, like I can't tell you how many times people haven't responded to me because they don't know who I am or whatever. And I'm just like, man, being in that position, I still have a story to tell, right? So how do we create a pathway for people in that position, right? So I keep thinking about those who have made it, wherever they made it, wherever they think they've made it.
Yeah.
Or whatever your level of success is to give back to our community through mentorship for this career path, because right now there isn't that. It's more where we go the traditional pathways that have major Hollywood gatekeeping. And it's tough to get that, but we don't have a community gauntlet pathway that allows people a shot. That's what people want, is a shot. That's all you
just want that shot.
Yeah. And maybe that's the benefit of going to film school or something like that, right? You know that my daughter is going to film school, and also, but it's just within our community, like you said, sometimes there's infighting, whatever. I try to stay away from that, like those types of folks, but I think it's more about just giving back. Like everyone has to somehow give back to each person in a way that makes sense for them, right?
It's karma, man.
It can't be forced. You can't force them to get back,
Yeah. To me, it's all about karma. It's positive karma. You know what I'm saying? You give what you give, you give what you receive. If you want that back, you got to give. And I'm all about that kind of, I'll get on my hippie game if I talk further on that type of topics, but I'm all about that.
Get off of our soapbox.
But no, I love it. Again, as I told you earlier and throughout this entire conversation, I love your mindset. I love your energy. I love the vibe. I love the goals. And as you were saying, we need platforms in order to do that. So welcome to my ShoPowSho family now. You're on this platform. I look forward to having you on again, as we stated earlier, to talk your full story, because it's so amazing as well. We touched upon it a little bit, with this, but I can't wait to dig in even further and just inspire and educate. And because again, we're not a monolith. We all went through different things to created the person that we are now. We've all had losses, but we've also had wins, and everything ties together to make you who you are and where you're going to go in the future. So I look forward to having that conversation with you.
Just keep going, keep talking, man. That's all makes that's what people need to hear more, everything that you're saying. So
No doubt. And I thank you for being part of now this tapestry that I'm creating with this. So all the love, all the blessings to you, Reno, as this develops. I can't wait to talk more on N1. Hopefully we'll have it all in post. We'll have it in the summer of 2023. And as it comes along, again, I want you to have you back. So like, yo, here's our full length trailer now. Here's the film date. We're going to drop it. I'm coming to the East Coast, brother. Let's do a screening. I can't wait to help and host and give love and vibe and share this with the people, man, because it's so important. We have to support each other. And this was truly a pleasure, Reno. But before we head out, let's throw them some links so that they can follow N1 as it goes and they can check you out. I will also have it in the description below, people. So make sure you go give them some love with some follows and you can keep up with N1. Hit them up, Reno.
And1, follow us on Instagram on the IG at And1Film. Hopefully that's easy enough. If you want to follow me personally, then it's Reno Writes anywhere on social media. So send me a shout out if you feel inclined to. Thank you so much for having us. Oh, website and1film.com and on our IMDb. So just look us up on there.
There you go. Kuya Reno is in the building with N1. I can't wait to again give them further love and light as that develops. And then we'll also have the Reno Ursal story when I have him back on ShoPowSho to talk about Panay, Jocelyn Enriquez, basketball again, everything. I got to know it all because I feel a kinship with you. I feel you and I are cut from the same cloth. I need to get into it. Find out what your favorite team is and why you're watching Winning Time on HBO, because that right now is the best basketball historical show right now. If you're not watching it, Reno, you're missing out. I need you to tune in because it's classic Bird and Magic along with other players. It's beautiful, but all the love. Check out Reno. Give him all the love. Give him subscribes. For me, it's the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Of course, here at ShoPowSho and at the NRW and at Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Another ShoPowSho in the can with my man, Reno Ursal. And one.